Alright, boom. I decided to make another video just talking about what you should expect from bariatric surgery, because I got one comment from this guy named Tony. Tony, if you're watching this, I'm really making this for you just to explain what it's like. But these are my jeans from a year ago. They were a little big on me then. They're size 60, right? Now I wear a size 42, so I've lost 18 inches off my waist in that year. And I'm down like 240. I've been at a standstill for the last 2 weeks, but that's just because I've been doing a lot of lifting, walking. I'm trying to build muscle right now, so being at a standstill is not the worst thing for me, because I'm trying to keep my calories around the same amount, which is 800 to 1,000 a day. That's where I stay, and I just make sure to stay hydrated. But here were my major complications after surgery, right? When I woke up from surgery, I was already a chronic pain patient because, I took oxycodone for my back, and a very high dose, right? Very high amount. So when I woke up, I told them not to give me fentanyl because, I was prescribed that at one point. I had kind of allergic reactions. It made my legs swell up for me. So I didn't want that. So they gave me Dilaudid. But they also gave me oxycodone, but when I got up to the room, but they gave me a very low dose of it, and I told them, no, you're messing up. I already take a higher dose than that. So it took about 3 or 4 hours for the surgeon to actually give me the proper dose, and it was still less than I take every day, but I was like, all right, whatever, I'm good with that, I can deal. So that was an issue for me. And then it was the crazy urge to burp, man. The urge to burp is just insane. And I felt like I couldn't get it out, and that's a normal thing because they pump your cavity full of gas, some kind of gas, so it'll puff up so they can see everything better. So they inflate you almost so they can see in there and see things differently, so they don't nick something or cut something else. But after that, I went up to my room. The nurses were kind of mad at me because I jumped up and I was like, oh, I'm fine, and they were like, no, sit down, because they're worried you're a fall hazard when you're 600 pounds. Because if you go down, they ain't getting you the fuck back up. Let's just keep it real. So these old ladies, the nurses were funny. They liked me because I was joking around and I was the youngest guy on the floor. Everybody else was like 60, 70. So they were actually fighting over who got to be my nurse that night because they thought I was funny. But, that was the main issue, not being able to burp and being in pain. But I jumped up, I immediately was like, I'm fine, I'm not a fall hazard. I got down in a catcher stance. I was like, look, I'm good to go. And they were like, no, don't do that again. Now you'll have the catheter or whatever, right? I can't remember if I was cathetered actually. I think I just got up to go pee. Yeah, I just got up to go pee, but you have the shit hooked up to your arm for the IV, all that. So the IV, it kind of protruded the vein and it made my arm swell up at one point. That was an issue. But that first night, I was already up, getting in the shower, walking down the hall. They want to see you walk, right? So once you've walked, it's they'll be like, all right, you can leave. They want you to stay one night. I stayed 2, but it was mainly just like a precaution kind of thing. I didn't need to stay 2, but the surgeon was like, you know what, I'll just keep you one more night. But after that, once I got home, you'll be on 2 weeks of liquid diet. Your best friend is going to be the sugar-free popsicles, because that's the only kind of solid food you're going to get. And I would recommend getting the great value ones from Walmart, because the other ones kind of suck. They make an all-natural fruit one. I can't remember what company. It's like I don't know. It's a teal box, and it's like strawberry. Those are banging, but they have like all-natural sugars in them. Those are good. But your best friend, sugar-free, great value popsicles, because the other ones kind of suck, the popsicle brand ones. So 2 weeks of that, then you go to puree. I kind of went to like soft scramble type deal with my eggs, and I would eat that. I really didn't blend up any food beside that. I was like, whatever, I'm fine. Protein shakes, you need to keep the protein. You need to drink a ton of water. I was dizzy for like the first, maybe 6 months after surgery. I was dizzy all the time because I wasn't drinking enough water. I wasn't forcing myself because I was so worried about stretching out my stomach. I still can fill up with okay, this is like breakfast for me. These 2 little pastry crisps at this point. That'll be a meal. It's 100 calories. right? But I was dizzy for a long time because I wasn't drinking enough water. That acid reflux is a bitch. At first, they're going to give you some kind of prescription strength. I kind of went to Tums after that, and the bariatric vitamins taste like shit. I haven't had acid reflux in the last few months, but I steer away from spicy things or even things that are too acidic, like lemonade or like any kind of pizza, tomato. It has to be really sweet. Pizza sauce, it can't be acidic. If you're going to eat pizza after the surgery, I go to Lido's. I don't know if you got Lido's, but Lido's is the best. Because it's sweet, it's not like really acidic. Lemonade's off the table. I drank a lot of Gatorade Zeros. Anything carbonated. Because drinking soda and stuff, I did do that after surgery. About 3 months in, I was drinking sodas. I shouldn't have been. I probably would be more weight down now if I didn't drink sodas. So stay the hell away from soda. Even diet soda, don't do it. The carbonation doesn't feel good anyway. I don't drink anything carbonated now because it's still uncomfortable for me. Just because my stomach's still pretty small. I haven't stretched it out hardly at all. That's something I'm really cautious. Also, do not eat anywhere near when you go to sleep. That was one of my huge issues. I would wake up in the middle of the night throwing up in my mouth all the time. And I would, I forget what it's called, aspirate, where, you know, you wake up, you're coughing, you've had like bile stuck in your throat, can't get rid of it. It really sucks. But that was a huge issue for me. Some people have more of an issue with it. That's why you stay away from the acidic or too much pepper or anything spicy. That will make that shit happen in the middle of the night. Don't eat anything close to like 2 hours where you go to sleep, or you are going to wake up coughing with shit in your throat, because that's the whole point of the surgery. If you overeat, it's going to make you throw up. Anything heavy will make you throw up too. After those 2 weeks of puree, I started eating a lot of like tuna fish. That was one of my go-tos, and a lot of oatmeal. And then after that, that was pretty easy. But once you get to like that second month in, that's when you can get like ground beef and stuff like that. Hamburger helper, that's going to be good for you because you could chop it up, eat that. Just eat tiny, tiny bits. Don't stretch your stomach. But I can confidently say a year in, best decision I ever made. Glad my girl pushed me to do it and called the surgeon. And it's going to make the world a difference for you, my man. And you were the only comment I ever got. And it meant a lot to me that you actually were looking at my channel like, oh, I'm about to go through the same thing you went through. Because, you know, I don't look at myself as like a motivational person. But I wish the best for you, man. And I think it's going to make a world of difference for you, because my quality of life has just shot up through the roof, man. I could barely get around the house before that. I was out of breath just walking around. But those are some of the things that I dealt with. They'll push you to use the CPAP or BiPAP. I hate that thing. That thing sucks. I never used it. I told the surgeon I was using it. I don't think I had really any other issues, but that's really it, my man. Tony, I wish the best for you. Reach out to me, leave me a comment. But yeah, that's the stuff that I really would caution you about that you're going to have to deal with after the surgery. All right, man. Best of luck.